What's up, guys? I'm the drum guider, and I'm here to talk about as a beginning video. I'm here to talk about the choice for nearly almost every educational rolling kit, every bell kit that you rent or you wound up purchasing just because you want to keep practicing over the next years in high school and all that other stuff. This is obviously, I mean, mine's in good shape, but it's what what you want to do is obviously, well, I'm not going to talk about that really another day, but this is a good pad, but I mean, first to begin with, the volume, it's extremely loud compared to most other pads. I'm not worried about that, right? Yeah, and so that would be a concern. I mean, this has a rim on it. So that's the rim. If you play you could play taps. See, I'm using a lot of fingers. Buzz strokes. So this is a good thing to, warm up on, but depending on where you are, if it's at a house, if it's, before, if you're, warming up for a concert or like something like on the way, like when your parents are driving, like where your parents used to just, when your child's parent, when your child's trying to get to the concert and you're trying to drive them up there, I would just recommend, this is pretty loud. I mean, that is a big problem, but if you want him to get the best, out of a pad, this one I would recommend wearing out, at the best of its ability. So then, because these, you can buy replacement heads, they're like 20 bucks. I don't have any right now in my possession, but on the back is, this foam, which is basically so you can put it on a table, and this is mountable onto a cymbal stand. This personally is an 8-inch. This is not a the Remo practice pads in particular come in 6 inches, 10 inches, 8 inches, and 10 inches. The 10 inches is pretty good, but I do like the 8-inch because it can, I mean, I personally would want to get a hold of a 6-inch, just because then you can like position your stick correctly, because it's but again, it's pretty loud. But I mean, if this is annoying just because so the playing them like, like 3 inches, which is about right here. It's not as loud as it's very much quieter, but I mean, that's mainly what the kid should be working on. Mainly is playing within 3 inches to start with, depending on the dynamic area that the teacher or whoever is talking about, is specifically mentioning. Otherwise, I mean, it's a good pad. It's a good pad because it's close to a concert drum head. Because how many drums are made of rubber, if you think about it, compared to most other drum pads on the market right now? I think this is also, they also have something called a Ram pad. They have a symphonic series. I haven't gotten a hold of it yet, but I'm probably gonna get a hold of one. I'll get a hold of one at some point and I'll do a review and compare these two, because this is quite loud. But there is another pad on the market. There's not any. This is a cheap pad. I think a 10-inch one, if you buy it from Amazon, costs I think about $27. Then you get shipping, so that's about 30 bucks. This one, if you could find on, what I'd recommend doing before you because the only thing, there is a lot of things there is one thing I don't like about this, is that right here right here specifically, this is where you could tune, it's tunable, so it's like you can tune it to you know, tabletop tight. So if you want a marching head, I really don't feel like tuning it to the top, so I'm not worried about it. But still, I mean, it's gonna sound the same. It's just me. It's this. I mean, there's obviously so yeah. So the only thing I hate, though, the only thing I don't like about it, besides the volume, is the fact that on these tuners, you need a screwdriver. You as drummers, you don't really use a screwdriver. You use a drum key. Now Remo does, because it's going to come in a package and everything like that. Remo will supply you with the key with a tuner, but if you have a screwdriver, then might as well just use that, because it's easier than that key, personally. Otherwise, I think I've said enough. If you wear this pad out, there are replacement ones you can get. Don't get a replacement pad, but you can get replaceable heads that will stick on the pad for around, $20, and then you can just unscrew these and put it back in there. Bam, you got a new pad. This has lasted me a good while since I've had it for. I really don't want to mention anything about that, but yeah. So yeah, that's this. So that's the Remo pad. I would suggest I'll do a thing showing on how to mount it properly onto a I don't have a snare bucket with me at the moment, but I'm gonna show how to do it with this special stand that usually comes in the rolling bags when you rent them from the music store or buy them. In this case, like I did when I bought mine. So yeah, that is a preference review. I would recommend getting this because it's an actual drum head and not gum rubber. So many pads have beads and stuff like that. I got one that's got beads in there. I'll do a little review on that one too, and I'll explain it. So yeah, this is the Remo 8-inch practice pad. Good pad, and yes, that is basically it. Covered. I think I've covered everything. So if there's anything else I need to supply myself with that you want as a review, depending on the price, I'll see what I can do. Take care.